I'm Julian Lofgren, and I am a junior. This year's going pretty good. We had a good season of football. I'm doing good in all my classes, and yeah. Uh, Probably managing your time, having time for everything. Athletics, because it's not about school. We get to actually do fun stuff in there. I think show and tell in first grade. We got to bring our favorite toy or whatever. I think I brought a Lightning McQueen race car. So that was my favorite toy when I was 5. Miss Morris, my math teacher, I go into class every day, and it's the last class of the day, so I'm normally kind of at that point checked out, but she makes me try and gets the best out of me. So it gets better. It doesn't stay as bad as it is freshman year. The more you do stuff, you learn your way around the building better. You get more opportunities as you become an upperclassman, and yeah, that's about it. Probably this year in football, when we beat Coronado, we drove 3 hours out there to play them, and then we beat them, and it was something that hadn't been done in 33 years, us going to the third round of the playoffs. So when we all won, just the whole team just celebrating in the locker room. Yeah, and then on the bus ride back, that was probably the highlight of my year so far. Hopefully, doing journalism. For the goal is to do it for ESPN or a sports article type stuff. I want to write articles about sports, preferably football and baseball, maybe in hockey. Those are kind of my favorite sports. So I'd like to be having to do something with sports, and journalism is kind of the goal. Probably my parents. They're the kind of ones that inspire me to take chances in life, kind of do stuff that I probably wouldn't have done if I didn't have their influence, and I appreciate them. They always try to get the best out of me. They inspire me to do well in school, because they know without school I can't get to where I want to be. So probably my parents. I'm inspired by my parents.
I am most grateful for
my health and my family.
I will never forget
Going to the emergency room at 11 o'clock at night after a baseball game because I got cleated in the eye. That was not a very fun experience. So, yeah.
Ew, did you get stitches?
Yeah, I got them right here. Probably getting cleated in the eye with a metal baseball cleat. Nothing really comes close to almost losing your eye. My greatest fear is probably snakes, and the main reason why is when I was 5 or 6, I was going out one day to check the chicken eggs, and we had this chicken coop where they would go and lay the eggs, and normally I would just go every day, open it, and grab the eggs out. One day, it was a Saturday morning, it was 9 o'clock in the morning, I was all out, had my jacket on and everything, I was going out to check the chicken eggs, and then I opened it, and there was a snake sitting right there on top of the chicken eggs, and I don't think I've ever ran so fast in my life when I was running back inside to get my parents. So that's probably my biggest fear. Probably the trust and the encouragement, because I feel like if you have friends that you can't trust, then they can't really be your friends. I'm not going to have somebody I don't trust be my friend, and then somebody who doesn't encourage me, who I don't see eye to eye with. It's kind of hard when you don't have equal views of each other. So I feel like just the encouragement and the trust that I have in people, that's kind of what makes them friends of mine. I do media and I do football and track.
Describe your experiences in those.
Football, I started doing flag football when I was in 5th grade, and at first I wasn't really good at it, but then the next year I did it, and in 6th grade I kind of really started getting into stride, and I ended up being kind of good at it. So that was when I was like, oh, maybe this is something I want to pursue a little more. So I did contact both years of middle school. Those were my first 2 years, and then I continued it through high school. Track, I didn't really think about it doing anything other than football in middle school, and then the coach told me to come out for track, and I kind of enjoyed running, competing. I love to compete, so kind of enjoyed doing track. And then media, like I said, the goal is to do journalism, and I can kind of get the opportunities to do that through this media program. I do model railroading, so I have like these little miniature electric trains, and then I make these little towns and stuff. There's this big layout in my room, and I have my electric trains in there, and they're pretty realistic, so I do enjoy doing that in my free time. Probably not to worry and care about as much as what people think. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think. It should only matter what you think, and to not allow people influence into your life just by what they think or what they believe about you. It should be just what you believe and what you think about yourself should be really the only thing at the end of the day that matters. Probably, I think there was a dude, I think it was TJ Watt, who's a NFL guy. He plays for the Steelers. He's super good. He said, you don't get back today to like improve. So if you don't get better today, today's never going to come around again. So if you're not taking every chance you get to get better every day, you don't get those chances again. They don't come back later around in life. So you got to take every chance you get to get better today. One, I'd like to stop kind of the conflict that we're currently in right now with Russia and Ukraine. And I think just everyone, I hope that at the end of the day, everyone knows that there's a God, and then like they can put their trust in Him. And I think once we do that, that would solve a lot of the society problems we have today with violence and stuff. Just if everybody knew there was a God, and if we would just look out for one another, just have compassion for everyone, that I think that would solve a lot of the world problems we have today. Probably just the people here. In middle school, a lot of the people I went to middle school with weren't going to the same high school as me. So it kind of allowed there to be a lot of bias athletically and even like in the classes, because they started putting people who were like going to the other high school and people who were going to this high school kind of in like different classes to kind of keep them together. That's where when I got here, everyone was super accepting. They were very kind and compassionate. So I appreciate that about my fellow peers. Okay, so I don't know if I can say this, but sophomore year in the JV locker room, I don't know whose idea this was, but people would just like, they would be like almost naked, and then they would just like have a ton of water on them, and they would slide across the entire locker room floor. And I don't know whose idea it was, but then one kid, and I don't know if I can name him, Colton Haley, decided it was going to be a good idea to do it. So he gets up, gets all wet, and then he head first, full send, slides across the locker room. And then at the other end of the locker room, Coach Wendell walks around the corner, and Colton Haley, here he is just going about, just flying over the locker room floor, and then he stops right at the end of Coach Wendell's feet, and then he stops right on Coach Wendell's feet, and then Coach Wendell looks down, and then Colton Haley, just the face he made when he looked up and saw Coach Wendell, I don't think I've ever seen anything funnier in my life. It's really like 3 hours and 30 minutes, but I don't think that's really true. I think I'm maybe on it for like maybe an hour and 45 minutes a day. I listen to a ton of music on Spotify, so I think Spotify probably gets like 2 hours of use a day on my phone, so I'm always listening to music when I'm in the car, studying, at home, just chilling in my room. I'm always listening to Spotify. So it's probably Spotify is my most used app. I do. I have my chillin' country playlist, my workout/game day, more rap playlist, and then I have my Christian music, worship type music. And I think right now my top 3 songs, I think I gotta go Rumors by Lil Durk and Gucci Mane. My Kind of Party by Jason Aldean, and Hills and Valleys by Torrin Wells are probably my 3 favorite songs, most listened to songs on Spotify.